News that the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, gave a mandate to the Chief of Defense Staff to ensure that the oil output for our nation is increased to optimal. Accordingly, the military has taken various steps in compliance with that mandate. And some of the steps include a unified command structure where all the security agencies will function under. That structure is commanded by the military. Additional lines of actions that have been taken include ensuring the transparency of the international oil companies operating in the region, ensuring credible metering of the crude oil that passes through the pipes, as well as reinforcing surveillance of the oil infrastructures deployed across the Niger Delta region, particularly looking at jackets are those structures that house the wellheads, looking at the loading terminals, and also vessels. Other areas being examined and reinforced at the point of loading and the point of destination of the vessels, and very importantly is to galvanize the support of the local community as well as stakeholders in the oil sector. And I will add, very, very importantly, is to ensure that culprits that have been arrested are prosecuted. These are all the actions that we are taking since receipt of that directive from the President through the Chief of Defense Staff. And we believe that if we follow through with this, surely and definitely we will record increased output in the crude oil production of our nation so that our economy can receive a boost. Thank you. The contemporary context of this planned protest is to shadow what is happening in Kenya. And I will add that what is happening in Kenya in terms of the protest, one, it is violent. Two, it remains unresolved as we speak now. So, deducing from that, and based on what has been gathered, there are plans by unscrupulous elements to hijack this protest and make sure that it turns violent. When it turns violent, I want to tell you what we have seen as will likely happen. Indeed, we need to count our blessings. Some are blessed, but they don't know they are blessed. Based on status, if you have a smartphone, if you have a car, you have a home, you have a business, you'll be labeled and attacked. For those who have shops, markets, for some who are living in other parts of the country will be attacked. because they're living in another part of the country. People will be attacked for belonging to opposite political party. Believe me, when this happens, it is nothing but a state of anarchy, lawlessness. So that is why I say that while the protesters have a right by the Constitution to protest, they do not have a right to galvanize for the unleashing of terror. They don't have that right. We have seen this in our operations in ECOMOG. When we went to Sierra Leone and Liberia, we have seen this in other parts of the world when we carried out peacekeeping operations. The military will not stand by and allow anarchy to befall our nation. It is our constitutional responsibility to make sure that that doesn't happen. Some think that it is like when you watch Nollywood or whatever. Omo, that is film. In real life, people stand to lose everything. I don't need to speak too much. Go to IDP camp. Just go to IDP camp. You will see people that had money, rich, houses, they are living inside tents. Just go to IDP camp. You don't need to go too far. So I think that is that. We must allow cool heads to reign, and we must give the government an opportunity to further remedy the situations and make our country to flourish again. We must not bring down the roof. We must not bring down the roof. Thank you very much. Now to the military and the opinion of some that we should bring mercenaries to support the military. I will just leave it at the point of opinion of that person. I will just leave it at the point of opinion of that respected person. That is his view, and he's entitled to it. But what I can tell you is that the armed forces of Nigeria is operating in multi-fronts, conducting operations. We are going after the center of gravity of the terrorists in those various theaters. We are finding them, we are flushing them out, and we are taking them off the battlefield. We continually destroy them and dismantle their military capability, their administrative capability, and their logistic capability. We are taking out their leaders, their commanders, their foot soldiers, as well as their collaborators. This we have been doing day in, day out, and have significantly degraded the terrorists, even though they remain active within these theaters. Now to one more question, which is what question is that?
At what point did the military come in?
I think I've answered that. The Constitution is very clear. The military Constitution is very clear as to when we come, when the police is overwhelmed, when we are invited to come in, we come in. So, but for now, we are carrying out what is called situational awareness. We are monitoring so as to know what to do when we are eventually brought in. And if we are brought in from the get-go, we go right in. What we need is the invitation, that's all, and we come in. Yes, I think I've answered all your questions. Thank you. Can we rise for